Hello, human family. This video is kind of like spontaneous, and I wanted to get on here and do it. I'll play it back to see how it sounds, but the way I'm feeling right now, I just want to verbalize this, and I don't want to just be rolling around in my head. Um, I told you guys that on Thursday and Sunday, I have Zoom meeting with some fellow believers. Okay, huh? Tonight. Uh, the meeting today, rather, the meeting this Sunday, it always revolves around, the pastor enlightening us, and then he opens the floor for questions. So, without going into too many details, the discussion was being had about um, um, a particular question. Now, here's where my problem is. One of the Zoom persons that was in the meeting as well, female, she butted in between the conversation between me and the pastor. Number one, I thought that was kind of rude and wrong. But to make a long story short, it was a female. So that's all I'm going to go with that subject there, because I want to focus on the female aspect. Because I'm telling you something, I probably will get a lot of slack from people on this one, but I don't care. And I'm going to tell you something, if you're a female, don't come after me. Not verbally, because I'm too old. I'm old and I've had a lot of living under my belt, and I've not just been in one spot all my life. I've lived in California, Texas, Florida, and for good lengths of time. So I'm not off the country bumpkin form, and I've been around a lot of people. And I told you my natural personality is outgoing. I've never been an introvert. I've never been a shy person. I've always been kind of out there and bubbly. And I want to say trusting. But as I've come to recognize, women, and I'm going to say this, baby, black women, I'm going to say it again, black women, y'all are not my favorite, honey. You're not my choice at all. I'm sorry, at all. Now, at this point, I got one or two that I haven't lost complete trust in. But I'm going to tell you something. Before I got any sense about what was going on, I kept repeating the process. I give people chances, I give them opportunities. I always greet people, or I always used to greet people with an open mind. And even when things were done to me or done toward me from a bad place from that female, I always made excuses in the back of my head. First, I tried to examine myself real, real, real close. Was it something that I said or perhaps did? And I'm thinking, as I'm telling this story, because I know that some people know me, they will know my past. I had one incident, and maybe at another time I'll tell that, where I stepped across the line in a certain situation and was involved and caught up in something that should not have ever occurred. But back to my original subject, black women. And I can just see them now bumping their gums and saying, oh, what is she talking about? Why is she hitting and downing black women? I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm an old woman now. And I've lived past those years of forgiving space in my head when females do what females do. Hmm. First of all, a black woman, not this one. I'm excluded from this arena. A black woman will not give you an unsolicited compliment. Did you hear what I said? They would rather die than to give you, another female, a compliment. And I've never understood that. I personally have never, ever understood that. Because the type of female I am, if I see another female who has on an outfit and it's attractive on her or it's pretty, it's nice, I have no problem saying to that female, "Oh, that's a pretty outfit you have on. Oh, you look so nice in that outfit." If I have encountered, and I have 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, because I told you I'm old, women that were far more attractive than me. And I have never had a problem in saying to the female, "Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you have pretty eyes. Oh, I love your hair." You know, I'm free, and I come forth with what I feel and what I'm thinking at the time if I see it. But honey, it's been times when I know I was fly. Back when I was younger, it's because I've always carried myself that way. And again, those that know me know I'm speaking the truth. That whenever I have called myself fixing up to go out on the town or to go to a function, you're not going to tell me I wasn't to the T, baby. Because I know how to dress. I know how to coordinate. I know how to put things together. I'm daring in my personality. So I would probably perhaps wear something someone else wouldn't have the courage to wear. And I want to tell you, compliments didn't come forth. Hmm. And I'm going to add this. If a compliment did come uttered out of some female's mouth, it was a hit and miss. You know, it was one of those side swipes, one of those shady kind. That's what you guys would say today. It would be one of those shady kind of compliments, you know, huh, a backhand insult. Because, honey, women can speak venom and it'll drip from their lips just like honey. But I'm disturbed at this point because I'm seeing where it's going to wind up for me. I told you that I'm tired of people. We're ugly to one another. We're nasty. We're fake and phony. And at times I feel like I'm the only real person within my whole sphere. And as I'm talking and I pause and hesitate, it's because I have in my mind a couple of ladies that are friends of mine, and I've not given up on them because they haven't displayed or shown that type of attitude toward me. And this is all stemming from the meeting, the Zoom meeting, because I felt, you know, and really when you start walking with Jesus, you're supposed to be doing a change, a about face, a turnaround. But it may be Satan, it may be God that's testing you, you know, to see which road you will choose. Because in that Zoom meeting, I really wanted to say to that sister what I felt. And at the time, what I felt was, if I want your opinion or if I have a question, I'll go look for a donkey. I'll come look for you. That's what I wanted to say to her. I wanted to say, when I'm wanting to answer from a donkey, I'll come find you. And you know what? That wouldn't have come across real nice at all. It wouldn't have been seen well, received well. but that's the way I felt because you inserted yourself where you shouldn't have. And you sounded like a seasoned woman, which goes to prove that you can be old and still not have any sense, any common sense. You can be trying or make an attempt to walk with God and still step off in a pile of manure. But I don't really have um, very good feelings about my female counterparts at all. And it's probably why all my life I have regarded women as um, undiscovered enemies. And I have enough psychological understanding of the world to know where mine stem from. And again, this stuff may need to go in a book as opposed to being on an audio across Facebook. But my experience and my raising with my mother, my mother was my first female connection. And everybody should understand that. Everybody's got a mother. And unfortunately for me, my mother made me feel 50% of the time, no, it's got to be more than that. She made me feel 80% of the time as though I were her enemy, her um, point of enjoyment when it came to verbal abuse, put downs, negative thoughts toward me. I was nearly 40 years old before I felt like I looked like anything because I walked around from whatever age I had memory of my mother until I was in my mid 40s. That I happened to be going through my photo albums and I was looking at pictures and reminiscing like people do. And in my 40s, when I look back at those pictures, I thought, oh God, Paulette, you were kind of cute. You were kind of attractive. You know how people do pictures that you had when you were dressed up, pictures when you were in this spot, that spot. And I remember one of my friend's mother saying to me that I had a beautiful smile. And I could tell she meant that. And she was a lovely woman, and I loved her. And I'm going to call her name out. Her name was Ella Brown. And I hope I don't get emotional so I can go ahead and tell this story because you women need to stop. You need to stop. But Ella Brown, she's the one that told me when I was around 14 or 15 that I had a pretty smile. She said, girl, you got a beautiful smile. But before then, I never regarded myself as having a beautiful smile because I heard from my mother almost on a daily how ugly I was and how big my mouth was. And I looked just like those darn Bruners, which is my maiden name, my father's name. So it didn't take me long to figure out that she didn't have a lot of love for my father for whatever reason. And I could give you a reason because he had a sister and that was my aunt and she and I were really really close, so she shedded some light on me about the relationship between my mother and my daddy, so I could understand from a female perspective why she would walk away with the type of feelings that she would have toward him because she was a woman scorned. And who hasn't been scorned? I know I have. Hmm. And what do women do? We um tend to rely on one another when we are depressed or low or going through something. We'll pick up the phone and call that special friend, someone that can talk to us and encourage us and, blah, 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 blah. But on the same tip, the person always falls short. This is why um, I'm just so glad to be in search of Jesus because he is the only one that you should ever put all of your complete trust in. Take whatever is on your mind or heart or concern to him. I'm going to stop because with me saying just that right there has changed the whole picture. I need to take this to Jesus because what I'm doing now is lashing out. I'm lashing out in the world. I'm wanting to tell the whole world of females, you guys are pitiful. You're so, so pitiful. Just hateful.